everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Stephanie from Lindy Stitches, and this is going to be my Nashville 2020 vlog. Now, I have already started prepping for Nashville. Can you guess the date today that I'm recording this? It's June 6th, and I've already created my first Nashville product. June, yeah, it's June, and I'm already prepping for March. I feel good about that. The first product that I've created is my kit for the year with Lois at Lady Creates. And so I've already stitched the pattern and I sent it off to her to be finished. And I'm really excited because I have this box and I have not opened it. I've never done an unboxing. It seems so silly, but I just thought it would be fun to show you my first glimpse of something that I'm already very invested in for Nashville, and I hope that you like it. I'm trying to carefully open. Now Lois, I stitched one model, another model stitched, another of my stitchers, Chris Canaday, stitched the other one, and Lois finished it two different ways. I can't wait to see these. So you know I love turkeys, and I kind of want to keep doing a turkey every year, and so holy cow. Oh my gosh, look at this. I love it. It kind of has some packaging stuck to it. Wow, look at him. Isn't he amazing? There's floofs and poofs, but oh my god. Then she made these little, oh my gosh. She made these little pins, which I think you should stick out of his feathers in the back. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at this. So this kit is going to be called Strutting Tom, and this is the pin pillow version. You know what makes me a little bit sad is I want this for myself, and I know once I release it, I am never gonna see this pillow again. Okay, so second way it was finished. Lois made me a drum. Oh, my heart is beating so fast because I am completely smitten. Okay, floops and poofs, but oh my goodness, look at this. She did chenille and pom-poms. And again, these need to be sticking out of his feathers. Oh my gosh, Lois, these are so beautiful. I am so excited. Look at this. Okay, so I used Weeks Dye Works, 3 different Weeks Dye Works colors. You can see the great variation in his bum. And then these 2 colors are also Weeks Dye Works. You can see the variation down here too. Oh my gosh. Ooh. The benefit of finishing this so far into before Nashville is that I can stare at this for a few months before it gets sapped away from me. Love it. Love it so much. I hope you guys like it too. Turkey number 2 for Lindy Stitches. Not released, but in the books. All right, What's funny is that this just arrived in the mail, and I came in here to record this, but what I was doing before the mailman rang the doorbell was I was designing my bigger piece, which I'm also very excited about. I think you're gonna like it too, because it's incredible. See you in a couple weeks or a few months. Hello everyone, I have a Road to Nashville update. Can you guess what today is? I wonder. It's Halloween. So naturally it is 30 degrees and rainy in Northwest Indiana. It's our Halloween tradition. We make our kids put on their costumes and then winter coats, boots, hats, and everything that could ruin Halloween for them. What are you gonna do? So in the current day and age, you've already seen these, but they're new for me and causing me a lot of work this week. I am releasing stocking stuffers and Merry Manatees, so I have packing materials and manatees and swans all over the place. So I have my Nashville lineup planned. Technically I have November, December, January, and by February I should hopefully, you have to have your stuff done, right? So I think I'm in a good spot. I have everything designed. I have 2 things fully finished, and we'll see. Things could change. I could change my mind, but I feel good about how everything is going. So Strutting Tom that I showed you in the last clip that I recorded months ago, I released 50 kits for Strutting Tom at Needlework Galleria, and I have never been flooded with so many emails in my life. I probably responded to, I don't know, I'm not good with numbers, 50 people, 70 people. Every day I was getting messages about Strutting Tom and where could they get them, and say it ain't so that Strutting Tom was a limited release. Strutting Tom is strutting again at Nashville, and I'm hoping that y'all don't have so many ants in your pants that you can't wait until then. Happy that he went over so well. A little sad to disappoint people, but he's coming back, which you already knew because you saw the previous clip. Forgive me for the time travel annoyances that I might cause with my chatter, but it's October for me, and I'm in the midst of prep. So I have Strutting Tom number 1. He's going to be a full kit, and when I sell out of the kit, he will be offered as a pattern. The second thing I have fully finished only because I fully finished this, I think, as a July release, and then changed my mind. It's a sweet little small called Poor and Needy. It has a Bible verse on it. I was going to release this, I think, in July, but then thought I would save it for Nashville, just because it's a small, it's adorable and cute, and I just didn't want to go through the hassle of releasing just one pattern. So I put it in my pocket, and it's going to be a Nashville release. I'm sure I've talked to you about this already because you've seen all my Nashville stuff. So that's number 2. Number 3 is my birthday box. Now this kind of came about serendipitously. I had an idea for this box that I might design at a later date. But November was approaching, and I have a friend with a birthday in November. And so I thought, I'll just design a little pattern. It'll be cute and sweet, and I'll stitch it up, and I'll give it to her for her birthday. This box is from Hobby Lobby. It's $6. I love it. It doesn't come with this fabric. It has a little drawer. It has these cute little feet. And so I ended up stitching up this little pattern for my friend's birthday. And it isn't her birthday yet, but I stitched this up. She told me her favorite colors were red and black. And I think it turned out wonderful. I did not want to just write something that said happy birthday because I feel like you wouldn't keep that out. At least I wouldn't. If someone stitched me something that said happy birthday, I'd probably pull it out in August, my birthday month, and let it sit there for a month. But then I'd put it back away because your birthday isn't all year round. At least mine isn't. So I wanted to stitch something that says, I love you, yay, but you might keep it out. So it has the cake, but it says, oh, happy world with you in it. I love it. I love it. It's adorable. And it's going to fit perfectly on the top of this box. Now I'm a little nervous about finishing the wood box. I should have bought more than one at Hobby Lobby, which I will eventually go buy more because I'm going to give this to my friend and then restitch it. I'm going to release it as a Nashville release because I think it turned out so sweet. So yes, this is my plan. I'm going to put, you could do so many things. I think that's what's making me drag my feet about how to finish it. And of course I could finish it one way for my friend and then change my mind for my Nashville release, but I think I'm going to put the houndstooth up here. You could decoupage things. I'm going to put the X's and O in here. And my plan is to paint the whole thing black. And then I think I'm going to paint like maybe the insides red to match the house. Or maybe the whole drawer red. I don't know. You already know the answer. So that's number 3. Number 4 is my big sampler. Now, I am releasing this with 2 color schemes. So I used 2 test stitchers. I only have one back. You know, they vary in speeds. So I've had this one for a few weeks. It's Mary Mary. And this is what color scheme number 1 looks like. I'm calling it day and night, not necessarily because, I don't know. Just because one is lighter and one is darker. This is on Weeks Dye Works. I am having a total mind blank. Whatever. It starts with an O, doesn't it? Echo. Echo? Is that right? I don't know. Super cute. So not everything is filled in. There are 3 spools of thread on each side. So there's this is going to be a big spool of thread, this one and this one. And I'm going to fill it in with a satin stitch, but I wasn't sure what color I wanted. So I told her to stitch everything except for the satin stitches. I think I'm also going to put like some big stitches on the pin cushions, but doesn't she look wonderful? She looks wonderful. I love how the butterflies turned out. I love how the colors pop off of the fabric. I think it looks fantastic. So I didn't stitch it. Lori stitched this in DMC and Weeks Dye Works. I just want to go into a little bit of why I am charting mostly in Weeks Dye Works over dyes. This Weeks Dye Works, I think this was still in the days of using some gentle art, so this has some gentle art in it. The last few patterns I've designed, I've intentionally used Weeks Dye Works. So, how I want to operate as a designer is I want the stitcher's experience to be as pleasurable as possible. And of course, your experience with a pattern starts with you going out and buying the supplies. If you want to buy all DMC, that's smooth sailing. If you want to buy overdyes, that's not always smooth sailing. And even me getting supplies for my models is not always smooth sailing. So if you were to ask me, What is your favorite overdyed floss to stitch with? I would say Gentle Art. When I released Emily's House, I had major supply problems. And I'm not here to bash any company or say you shouldn't use their product, but I had issues. I don't want to release a chart that when you go to a store, certain colors that I've charted with are completely sold out with no hope of getting them restocked, or no immediate hope of getting them restocked. That's frustrating. Like, you want to stitch what you want to stitch when you want to stitch it. So my experience with Weeks Dye Works has been incredibly good. And I know people, there are not a lot of people that say, wow, I genuinely enjoy stitching with Weeks Dye Works. People complain about it being a little bit on the thin side. I personally don't mind stitching with it. It is a little bit on the thin side, but I think their color palette is pretty good. And I can order from them whatever I need and whatever quantities I need, and they never do me wrong. And so for that reason, I've been stitching more and charting more with Weeks Dye Works, because I want to know that when you get a chart from me, you're going to be able to stitch it. Now, obviously, I can't guarantee the 25-year legitimacy of the Weeks Dye Works company or anything like that, but that's why. And if you want to change it to some, Gentle Art or Classic Colorworks or Victorian Motto that you have in your stash, you don't need permission from me, you know that. So, long story short, I'm trying to make my customers' experience, at least of finding the materials, if they want to use the charted, as smooth as possible. So anyway, that was a long ramble. Let me show you a couple of the colors I'm auditioning for the spools. Sorry for the crinkle. I am waiting to get the other daytime color scheme back before I make the spools decision. But I was kind of thinking about maybe this pink. And of course I could do it not parallel so that they're different colors on both sides. Maybe this blue. I love this blue. This is Blue Heron. I ended up using that in my Strutting Tom kit. It's a beautiful color. I don't know, we'll see. I also think the frog needs a mouth. Or maybe some backstitch leg lines for his back haunch. Frog haunches. Well, I hope you had a good Halloween 6 months ago or whenever you see this video. That's where I am with Nashville. I feel good. We can do this. Let's keep the panic at a low simmer. Bye, friends. Hey everyone, it is January 28th. At the end of the week, it will be February, and it's crunch time, people. January is hard. Especially the end of January, because I am right at that point where everything has creatively been finished. I have this huge load of goodness to show to the world, but I haven't done it yet. And so it's hard. My insecurities tend to rear their ugly heads right at this point, and I am just ready. Like, from here to when I roll in my minivan to Nashville, I just kind of want to get that part over with. No, I don't want to wish my life away, but it's not easy. On top of that, January has been, as it always is here, the gray doldrums of winter. I have seen the sun twice this month. Twice. And naturally, this is the time where I need to take all my cover photos. No natural light whatsoever. I'm not talking about like partly cloudy that makes your photos evenly lighted and lovely, the way partly cloudy can. No. This is like the apocalypse of darkness, and there's no good photos to be had. And so last week, thankfully, I saw it was going to be partly sunny, and I busted my drawers getting the photos taken because I had a lot of photos to do and a very short window of light to take them in. I've noticed the photos are my least favorite part, can you tell? They stress me out. They're hard. My body hurts by the time I'm done with a photo shoot because of all the bending, twisting, holding, and body gyrations I have done to get the photos to look good. I make a gigantic mess all over the house. My king-size bed is full of junk. My dining room table full of junk. It's just mayhem. It's hard. It's not fun. I've noticed that during the other points of the year when it's not winter, I take a much smaller batch of photos than I do when the lighting is iffy like it is now, which makes it difficult. If I can get a photo that I have to do very minimal computer adjustments on, it translates very well to my professional printer who does my covers. If I have tampered in anything more than a smidge with the color balance or the saturation, if I've messed with the photo to get it to look the way I want it to, chances are I'm going to have to do 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 sorry about that, color checks on. I have to go, I have to look at it, I have to come home, I have to adjust it. It's just difficult. So I will just show you an example of the difficulties. This, for example, looked amazing in my computer, and then my printer handed me this as a color check, and I don't know if you can tell, but it's blue. The whole thing's blue. It's just gray. This is supposed to be white. These are supposed to be light blue. This is supposed to be a nice pink. It's way off. So then I went back and I picked up a color check that was yellow. It's just a laborious process that I struggled to find joy in. But I think it's almost over. I have everything approved except for my larger sampler, which I'm going to show you in a couple minutes. Let me show you the birthday boxes. Oh Happy World is what I'm calling this pattern. They are adorable. So I originally designed this pattern as a birthday gift to Lois over at Lady.Creates. She has been an amazing friend to me and a mentor and a grandmother, mother, aunt, partner in crime, etc. She means so much to me. So I made this birthday box for her, and she said, you know, your finishing could be improved a bit. And I said, oh, okay. And then I proceeded to make her finish 2 more for me, which kind of seems wrong since it was like originally a gift to her. She gave me a lot of crap about it, which I willingly accepted. But look at this. Like, why wouldn't I make her finish things for me? Because these are adorable. I mean, I honestly think this is like the perfect gift for a stitchy friend. It's quick, it's easy to finish, and the aqua, oh my gosh. This is the face I make when something's stupid cute. I love them, and I'm so happy with how these turned out. So that's going to be called Oh Happy World. I had other projects to do. I printed out some spring sticker plates. I am licensed. I bought a professional license with this watercolor artist. And how beautiful are these? Definitely don't have to just use them for spring. But they're just like my other sticker plates, just different artwork and colors. And I'm so happy with how they turned out. When you're ordering thousands of something, it's really nerve-wracking when you open that box, because like I said, printing and computer screens, and you kind of feel like you are walking a tightrope. But the tightrope bore me across the chasm of wasting a ton of money, and these came out great. I love them. These are going to come in sets of 5. The reason my other sticker plates come in sets of 10. The reason I did that was my other ones are kind of just more generic. You could put them on literally anything. I think these are a little more specific, a little fancier. You wouldn't put this on just anything, so I'm putting these in sets of 5, and of course they will be a lower price. Got new business cards designed and printed. My old business cards were defunct. They needed updated, and I finally got through them, and I love how these look. Whew. Now, are you ready to see my big ol' samplers? Because I'm very excited about these. That's just the theme of this segment. Whew, everything is turning out well. Mary Needleworker looks amazing. Let me show you the night version first. So this pattern fits in an 11 by 14 frame, which you can, in the United States at least, go and buy this size anywhere. You know I love this Hobby Lobby frame. It is unique in that it is a closed frame. That's what my framer told me. She said, this is a beautiful frame, and it's very unique because usually companies don't make this type of frame. Your framer, I don't even know if they can do this type of frame because it's got the corner details and right in the middle. Like usually when you're cutting molding, this is not what happens. It's just gorgeous. But here, look, Mary Needleworker. This is the Night Garden version. I love it. I love how the night or the day, different things like pop out of the pattern. Of course, they're 2 different colorways. You get 2 different color keys, but the chart is the same. And so I even wrote on the pattern, just cut off the other ones so you don't get confused, because yeah, there is some overlap with the colors, but not a lot. This orange is Weeks Dye Works Clockwork. I love it. I just love how the colors look. So this is the night version. And I talked about my framer, and she finished the back of that one for me because I'm lazy. And I knew I wanted to get a fancier frame. It's gold. I was trying hard. I had lots of samples of a dark brown frame because I've noticed that a lot of designers continually, and a lot of cross stitchers, like the dark brown frame. And sometimes I put pressure on myself, like, if everyone likes that, just do what people like. But I cannot help myself. I love golden frames. I love ornate golden frames. So I'm just continuing to walk my own way. And my framer is an evil temptress who just kind of sidled up, knowing my love of gold frames, and said, hey, I have some of this left over from a big project. What do you think? It was like, you evil villain. because it's perfect. This is the daytime colorway. This is Weeks Dye Works Seafoam. And I love this. I got no words. The pinks and the greens just came out so wonderful. So wonderful. The satin stitching, I can't remember what color that is, but is so fun. You, of course, don't have to satin stitch it. You can just fill it with cross stitches. I love the red of the tomato. I love the boots. I love the frog. Amy, that's for you. The smiling frog. I hope that he gets your seal of approval, because his little bum and his little leg and his little smile and his little eye. I'll stop now. Mushrooms. This is just Stephanie Webb. Stephanie Webb on some Picture This Plus Bramble. Okay, so there it is. Mary Mary Needleworker. I hope that this goes over well. I hope people like it. I have always loved this nursery rhyme. I don't know what it is about it. It doesn't really even make much sense to me in the original nursery rhyme, but it's always been appealing. And so there we go. Mary Mary Needleworker. I hope that you like it. We'll see. So in a couple of weeks at the latest, I will be releasing all the photos for all my releases, and we will see how the world reacts, and we will get ready to sally forth into the South, Nashville, Tennessee. I'm sure my next vlog I will be just in a different realm of stress, and I look forward to meeting you in the future chaos. Today is the day I have been dreading. I think I might have enough light to film my Nashville releases Flosstube video that I send out with my email to the shops that are coming to market, and I've been dreading it because I don't necessarily enjoy the pressure of showing 6 new things all at once. It's kind of like the last push to get myself out there, and it's gonna be fine. So yesterday I hung up a lot of my, this one's not hung up, but I hung up a lot of my pieces on the wall. I think they look great and they're making me happy. I'm really glad that I did that. I've been thinking about it for some time, but I've been wanting to repaint this room and just haven't gotten to it, so that was kind of the reason I was putting it off. Like, you're just gonna repaint the room, so just forget it. Well, I'll take it all down when I repaint the room. I wanted them up where I can see them. I also purchased some actual film editing software at the end of last year. I have not explored all the capabilities of it, but I'm excited. All of these years I have been using Windows Movie Maker, and that is a great, I think it's a great beginner-friendly, idiot-proof film editing software. It's free, easy to use, but I was ready to introduce some better editing to my videos, and so that's going to be my challenge. I don't enjoy editing videos, but I want your experience to be better as you watch my Flosstube videos, so I'm going to go for that. I'm going to film a dance scene, and I don't honestly know if it's going to make it into my Nashville shop video, but I'm going all out because you're worth it. Hello everyone, today is Tuesday. I am leaving for market on Thursday. And I need to wrap this pre-market vlog up because I have a lot to do. So the last time I talked to you, I was on the day of recording my release video. I don't know why, but releasing my patterns that I'm bringing to market is one of the most nerve-wracking parts of the whole market experience. I'm not sure why exactly it's so nerve-wracking, but it is. And I just want to say thank you for being so kind and enthusiastic toward my silly dancing Nashville release video. I wasn't nervous about the fact that I was purposely dancing like an idiot and putting it on the internet. Maybe the dancing, you know what? I tend to do this. Yeah, I know what the dancing was about. It just occurred to me. I do this thing where if sometimes I throw a little absurdity into life when I feel uncomfortable about something. That's what the dancing was about. I just had this self-revelation. That's what I was doing. I was, for example, if someone gives me a sincere compliment, my first instinct is to kind of like deflect it, and I don't think that's not what you should, it's not a polite or loving thing to do, but it's always my first instinct, and I've been trying to fight against that. Is this making any sense? And so I'm seriously showing you my precious jewels that I've created, and I love being absurd and silly, and so yes, that's what the dancing was about, but the dancing was also about kind of relieving the stress of that whole creative outlook or outpouring. Anyway, why are we talking about the philosophy of dancing? My mind is in 1,000 different directions. I thought I was ahead of the game, and I really was as far as I knew, and then I really thought, wow, I'm really gonna have nothing to do this week. I don't know why I thought that. That shows how ahead of the game I thought I was. Long and the short of it is, your enthusiastic response to my patterns has caused me to reprint 2 additional batches on top of my first batch, and so I have a lot of work still to do. I was just looking at my numbers a couple days ago over the weekend and thought, you know what, I think I need more. And then more pre-orders came in, and I really truly need more, and so this stack of papers still needs to go. I've reordered Mary Mary twice now, so this morning I'm going to pick up another 175 copies along with 75 copies of 3 of my other patterns. And if you do the numbers, and if you know how long chart stuffing takes, that's at least 2/3 of the day chart stuffing. And so I think I know I'm going to force my family to help me tonight. I don't normally do that because I like to do my own work, and I need to start letting that go. I feel like I'm babbling. But I started this video trying to say thank you for your kindness and your support, and I've read every comment, and I've appreciated all of them. I got no negative comments, which when you look through the amount of messages and comments that I got over all my different platforms, that's kind of incredible. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you if you pre-ordered one of my patterns, because it really, truly helps. Every pre-order is a blessing, and I thank you. Putting yourself out there creatively is hard, and you make it so rewarding and so worth it. So rewarding and so worth it. I have tried to keep up with my messages on Instagram, Facebook, and email. It's been a little overwhelming for some reason. This round of market, I have received a lot more messages from people who don't know what market is or why I'm showing products and they can't order them right now, which I totally get. I think market and the whole process is awkward as far as the buyer's perspective goes, especially if you're not familiar with how it all works. So I have tried to keep up with that. It's been difficult. But thank you for your patience, especially if you are a newcomer and you're like, I gotta do what? I gotta hunt down who to buy something for me, and I'm gonna get it when. It's confusing, it's a little clunky, but thanks for plowing on ahead and just going with the system. I really appreciate that. Yeah. Doing this for the second time is way better than doing it the first time. I will say that. Yeah, just the element of mystery being gone is so helpful. I know what I'm getting into. I know what I can handle, I think. I'm doing... I feel way more confident is what I'm trying to say. Like, I know I got this. But there's still so much work to put into, I know I got this. So it's just a matter of doing the work. I didn't do like some things that I did last year. Last year I did like a dry setup in my home to make sure I knew like how things were gonna flow. Didn't do that. I don't feel like I need to. It probably would be helpful only in the sense that I wouldn't bring so much like possible like display containers and stuff, but I really don't like, it takes a long time. It takes a long time to set everything up, and I just didn't want to put in the time. So if that means I'm taking an extra tote of stuff that I won't end up using, I'm okay with that. I'm so thankful that I can drive. And that extra tote is no big deal. Last year, I also like measured out the inside dimensions of my van and like made sure everything was going to fit. This year, I am bringing more stuff. But you know what? I have a Tetris master husband. He loves figuring out how to fit everything in the van. And so I think it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. I ended up selling out of Strutting Tom within a week. Which is awesome. Is awesome because we made way more kits this year than we did last year with Penelope's Posies pincushion. Made way more, sold out in, pre-sold all of them in less than a week, which was insane. However, that being said, I'm learning some lessons, and I think I'm going to do my limited kit differently next year, just to give, I mean, everyone had I'll say this, all the shops had the opportunity to pre-order my kit. A lot of them did not realize how quickly they needed to get their pre-order in, and that's where the problem surfaced. It's not a problem personally to me that I sold out. It is a problem for the shops that didn't pre-order, and I did get some emails from people who were upset that I had pre-sold all my kits, and I had no idea they were going to go that quickly, and so I don't know, but I'm going to tweak my process just to, I don't know, just to make sure everyone who wants some can get some, and that they have a reasonable amount of time to order them. still learning lessons, still taking notes, and tweaking my process. So anyway, I feel like I'm just rambling about random things. Thank you for watching this vlog if you did, because I have a feeling that it's like world-class boring, but whatever. I hope to do some vlogging in Nashville and during the market. I don't know that that's going to happen. I'd like to do a lot of things, but you would be amazed at how much work everyone is doing that is there, and how I want to say overwhelming. It's not overwhelming. It's awesome. Every minute is awesome, but there's almost like there's such a plethora of opportunities at the same time that you have to be choosy, or you're going to regret how you spent your time. And I definitely know that I would regret prioritizing making a vlog for YouTube. So no promises, but we'll see. Thank you so much for your support. I really feel like the most privileged person ever that I get to do this, and it's because you support me. So thank you. I will see you on the flip side. Bye, everyone.